What's up, guys? Richmond's here. I kind of feel like Overwatch 2 is going to be, I mean, not trying to make a huge hot take here or anything, but I'm not that excited. I've been playing Overwatch for 6 years, literally since it came out. My roommate initially, Blake, got the game the week it came out, had no idea what it was. First game I ever played was on Lijiang. I played Soldier because my buddy told me he's like the easiest player to start playing, you know, to understand what's going on. I remember I went 13-5. We won. I had no idea what was really going on. But from the second I started playing this game, I was kind of hooked. And it's not really a big secret as to why this game kind of grabbed me the way it did. I love teamwork. I love people having to communicate and work together for a greater cause. And everybody has a different job. Everybody is trying to do different things. You know, but it's all to ultimately win. And I really just appreciate how this game kind of approached this idea. Because you have, I mean, there's a lot of games that have healers, tanks, and DPS, but we can see that even when pro teams kind of try and mess with this, every role is needed. It kind of changed a little bit with GOATs, and of course that's why we got role queue. But now with Overwatch 2, I mean, the game was initially promised to us because it had a lot of PvE. That was going to be the whole issue. Overwatch 1 was still supposed to be a part of the game. People with Overwatch 1 who didn't purchase Overwatch 2 could still play. Now, Overwatch 2 is announced. It's a free-to-play game. We have seen almost nothing in terms of content that they're showing us for PvE. All of the ideas that they initially had just don't seem to be very fleshed out. And if they are, they're keeping it very hush-hush. But in my opinion, that kind of just means, like, it's not going to be very good. That they've been focused too much, I think, on just keeping this ship afloat rather than trying to move the game on and change it. They think 5v5 is going to make a big difference, but I mean, there's already a lot of pressure on tanks, and just making one a little bit better, but that's the only tank. I mean, it's already annoying enough if you just don't have a shield, the other team is shielded up, but now what? You pick Ball in your team is just, what, you're just going to dive everything? Or you have a Reinhardt, and everybody's just going to be expected to stand behind this man so he can charge and cancel it, and so that's enough? What about a diva? I don't really understand how the game is supposed to get better from this. And the fact that there's now PvE is not even a focus. It's like they just forgot about it. I don't really know what to make of that. I hope this game is good. I hope Overwatch 2 is good. Because this is a game that I put so much time into. This is a game that I put so much effort into. And, no, I didn't really take trying to get my, my competitive rank higher. I kind of just always kind of screwed around. It's like, I really do love this game. I really want it to succeed. I think it's one of the most polished, one of the best multiplayer games to have come out. And, you know, this is coming from a guy who also plays a lot of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. That game took years before it even got slightly polished. It was terrible. Overwatch from day one was a very polished game. You know, I see a lot of other games who have copied Overwatch. Just character models, abilities, kind of everything that goes with the game. And now it almost seems like Overwatch is copying them. Like, I see Junker Queen and I just see an Apex Legends hero. You know, it's not really that much different. Even moves like a hero in Paladins. So it's like, why am I playing Overwatch? You know, it's like, I really just want this game to be good. I want so bad for the Overwatch 2 to be good, and I just don't see it. But I guess I'm just being too negative. I mean, maybe. Sojourn looks like she's going to be a lot of fun. But her kit does confuse me a little bit, because it seems kind of like a Widow who needs to shoot a crap gun before she can use her good gun. Where it's like Widow just has a good gun. You know, she's got a slide, but, I mean, isn't that just like a worse version of Genji's dash? Or basically any of Doomfist's abilities? Tracer? I mean, I don't really understand how that move is so much better than a lot of the other movements that we have. Even Moira's Wraith will get you out of the way better. Junker Queen, I mean, she sounds cool. I always wanted more melee heroes in the game, but it kind of just seems like, hey, we don't have enough dots in the game. We don't have enough damage over time. Let's just make one hero do all of it. And she has a fan, and she moves forward very quickly and awkwardly. You know, now we're also hearing that the passives that we were going to get for a lot of the heroes, damage heroes especially, like the movement buffs, those are getting nerfed because other heroes are potentially going to come out that has the buffs or whatever, and it's like, it doesn't seem like the game has a lot of direction. It doesn't really seem like anybody really knows what they want from Overwatch 2. It just kind of seems like, hey, these are all a bunch of semi-good ideas. Let's just throw them all together and hope the soup tastes good at the end. And I don't really like that. Because Overwatch 1 had a direction. There were words about that, you know, Jeff Kaplan wanted this or that or whatever for the game. I guess he wanted PvE early on in the game. There were certain things that Jeff Kaplan wanted for the game that he wasn't able to get through. But for the most part, Overwatch 1 had a very clear and obvious direction. What I don't see at all, especially since Jeff Kaplan left, is direction. There hasn't been, I mean, after experiencing almost weekly balance patches for the first 3, 4, 5 years of the game, the second Jeff Kaplan left, nothing really changed. The game has been stagnant since. Like, no one is more or less powerful. There haven't been any significant buffs or nerfs. We've just kind of been in a stagnant game state. The only changes that we really have even seen were from content creators or pro players that they trusted to, hey, why don't you just screw with what the healers do? Why don't you just screw with some DPS? Anything that you wanted to see in the game, we'll just do that. Like Reinhardt's hammer down, doing a bunch of damage in a small radius around the hammer. Like, that was all an experimental a couple months ago or a year ago, however long ago it was. And then they were like, we'll throw that into the game, nerf it a little bit. But, I mean, other than that, those are the only changes we've seen since Jeff Kaplan left. And most projects, especially video games, but I guess it's, you know, the same way in basically any area of life, where you lose the leader and that's it. No one else is capable of standing up and taking this head on. You know, no one else has the direction that he had. And then Overwatch 2, we have all these conflicting messages from the heroes we're going to get, what they're going to look like from PvP, from PvE. They're changing it to 5v5. Oh, maybe it's still 6v6 now. Oh, no, it's definitely 5v5. But now certain passives that we were giving to other things are changing. And, oh, guess what? Doomfist is now a tank? Doomfist is a tank. So, I just wish I had more positive things to say. The one thing I will say, though, is I'm definitely going to play Overwatch 2. I really hope that this game lives up to the expectations that I have for it. Like, genuinely. Because I want this to be good. I'm kind of sad that I got used to having 6 stacks, and now I'm going to have to... It's like that meme where you're looking at the weakest player on your team, and you're like, alright, you gotta go. You're out of here, bud. You know, it's going to be a tough decision to make. Who knows? Maybe in my group I'm the one that gets kicked out. Who knows? But I don't know. At this point, I'm just ranting. I just really want to know that Overwatch 2 is not going to be a directionless, rudderless boat, and that we're actually going to see some real change, some things to keep the game fresh, some things to keep the game fun and engaging. They say a new hero every 2 months. That sounds a little ambitious to me. That's 6 new heroes a year. Which, what, if we project this out another 6 years? What are you talking? There's no way. The game's been out for 6 years. You want 6 heroes a year? That's another 36 heroes. You're talking about doubling the hero pool. And with the lack of balancing that we've seen from Overwatch since Jeff Kaplan has left, I really don't have a lot of faith in this new team making these balance changes. Like even the holiday skins have been lacking. Even like holiday games, the best custom games that I've seen have been like games that developers didn't make, like Flappy Mercy, like Tiny Rhymes, Genji Ball, Diva Egg. You know, like these are the kind of game modes that are a lot of fun to play separate from the game, and none of it has anything to do with the devs. Well, we got the first year, we got what? Junkenstein's Revenge. Christmas, we got the Maze Snowball, right? There was a Yeti one, I think, year 2. We got Lucio Ball, I think that was the first game to come out. And basically after that, we didn't get that many more game modes. We got a couple really half-assed, it seemed like, PvE games. Basically, you know, the Havana one, the Rialto one, and, I mean, I can't even really think of much else. So, I guess in conclusion, I would halt your expectations for what Overwatch 2 can be. We'll see. We'll see if it can be good, but don't expect too much. Anyway, thanks for listening to my rant, and Rich Buns out.